Hello and welcome back to the Georgia Sites online tatting classes. Tat along. This is the Linda Davies brooch that we was talking about in the last video. It's the flower brooch. Now, I got news for you guys. Alright, this looks so complicated. Alright, it's so intricate and delicate that it looks complicated. But I got news for you guys. This is and could very well be a beginner pattern. Okay, it is that easy to do. It's just a matter of following instruction. And the instructions are basic language, basic techniques. So there's no reason why a beginner cannot do this. Alright, so let's get on with it. What we have here is we have our shuttle. It is wound continuous thread method from the shuttle to the ball. Okay, the thread she is using is DMC number 8. Okay, the DMC number 8 comes in balls like this. Alright, you see it says a little number 8 up here. These are the colors that I tatted this brooch up in. Alright, so that's what you're looking for. I'll have a link in the description box where to get this thread. Alright, and the DMC has a softer feel to it than the Elizabeth, and it billows. Okay, and you want that to billow because you want the depth that it gives. Alright, so right now what we're using is Aunt Lydia's crochet cotton size 10, so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, we've got our thread, continuous thread method. We have strung 6 of the 7 beads on here. My 7th bead is right there. You see it? That will be used later. Okay, when we get to it, you'll see what happens with it. So you want to lay it off to the side. You can get a little bead cup or something like that to put it in. Okay, I save my prescription bottles for things like that. Okay, so that if it gets knocked off, you haven't lost the bead. I mean, some beads are expensive to purchase. Okay, let's get real. So a penny saved is a penny earned, and it can buy more thread. Okay, so let's get on with it. Now she says here, she used the DMC Pearl Cotton size 8 in the main flower color. The main flower is the actual color of the flower. Okay, and green. The green is representing the leaves of the flower. 7 3mm beads, a shuttle, strong PVA glue, and a brooch fastener. Now, Linda is in the UK, I believe, or London. I know she's overseas. So the brooch fastener over there would be called a pinback over here. Okay, so that can confuse you. Anytime you're unsure, take a picture. Okay, you've got your pattern, take it with you. That way, whoever's working at the craft store can help you locate what you're looking for. Alright, so she has really outdone herself on this pattern. She has came in here with pictures to show you the most difficult to understand parts of this pattern. Okay, a lot of patterns, you'll get a diagram and you'll get the notes. That's it. You don't get three-dimensional pictures. Okay, and that makes life so much easier when you're tatting. So let's get on with this. It says thread 6 beads, which we've done, onto the main flower thread and fill the shuttle. And do not cut it from the ball. We did not. So the first thing we're going to do is ring 1. Now you're going to pull all 6 beads up into the loom of the ring. Okay, so here you go. You grab your thread. You're going to wrap your thread. You want these beads back here where that pinky's at. Can you see that? That's where you want them beads, out of your way. You don't want them up here where they're getting in your way. Alright, and we're going to do 3 picot 3. Then we're going to place all 6 beads up in the ring. Then we're going to do 3 picot 3 and close the ring and then reverse our work. So let's do that. Okay, now again, I'm not going to measure these picots, okay, for time's sake. So my picots are going to look a little funny. okay? But you do want to measure your picos on this pattern, okay? Trust me on that. It will give it such a beautiful look. Another thing I'm going to tell you, we're going to tack this in traditional tatting. However, the brooch that I did front side, back side, and it give it just a little more depth, okay? So it's your choice, whichever way you want to do it, front side, back side, or traditional. But for today, we're doing traditional. All right, we've got 3 picot 3. Now we want to pull them beads, all 6 of them, up around. You see that? Now, get my fingers to work here. That loom together. Now we're going to put in 3 more double stitches. Now watch what I'm doing here. Okay, watch this. You see that double stitch? I'm pulling it up, okay, right next to it. And you're going to have like a picot of beads, okay? And then I'm going to put in my other 2 double stitches, okay? And we're going to put in another picot. Again, I'm not measuring these picots, okay? I'm just sort of kind of eyeballing them. Well, that one's just totally bigger than the other one, but that's okay. All right, we just want to know what the techniques are, okay, and how to do this. Like I said, this could very well be a beginner pattern, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. It's real easy. All right, now I'm going to show you a little trick here. You see how my picots are not even? What you can do, if that happens, you don't want to fight with your picot gauge. Take and run your crochet hook down through there. Pull on it just a hair and stretch it back out. And look, all of a sudden both my picots are the same size. Is that not the coolest thing? That's tatting. It's easy peasy. Looks difficult. And trust me, when you're talking to people that don't know anything about tatting, tell them, oh, it's just time consuming. Because it's time consuming, but it's really simple when you get down to the basics of it. Okay, now we've got our ring, we've got our picots, we've got our beads on. Now we're going to do the chain. We've reversed our work like the instruction says. We're going into our chain. Now this chain is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picots separated by 2 double stitches. Okay, those little hash marks are picots. So we're going to put in our 5 picots. Okay, there's our first 2 double stitches. Why did that hinky up? That's Aunt Lydia's for you. Let me pull that back out. I do not like that. Looks like a picot. When you get into the pattern, you don't need something that looks like a picot that's really not a picot. Okay. But Aunt Lydia's it's not a great tatting thread for a project like this. Now, if you were going to make a doily or a tablecloth, something that was going to get a lot of use, a lot of washing and things like that, yeah, use the Aunt Lydia's, okay? But for delicate things like this, you want to use a really good tatting thread, okay? So let's pull that back up and finish that double stitch. That's one. It's still got that hinky in there, and there's nothing I can do about it. I think it's in the thread. That's the bad part. That's 1. 2. Some people call them slubs. I just call them hinkies because they, or humpties, because they make it look like you got a picot there, and it's not a picot, it's the thread. So, but like I say, for something that's going to get a lot of use, a lot of wear and tear, I wouldn't go out and buy expensive tatting thread to make it with unless it's going to be an heirloom. But something you're going to use every day, like a tablecloth or a doily or something like that, that is going to get wear and tear, Aunt Lydia's is a good product to use for that. But you got to deal with the slubs, hinkies, or whatever you want to call them. Okay. All right, now here we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picots separated by 2. Now we want to tighten that chain up and get our curve in there really nice. Okay, and we're going to reverse our work. All right, now we've got our first ring. Okay, we've got our first chain. Now in the next video, I'll come in and show you how to do your next ring and join. Okay, and then we'll move on from there. All right, so until the next video, happy tatting, and thank you for watching.